You know those people who you sort of have relationships with, but not really anymore? Like maybe you worked with them back in the day. Maybe you used to go to school with them, old classmate or some shit like that. Maybe even used to be friends and hung out at some point in time, but they just kind of drift away. And you still kind of stay in contact with them via social media or whatever the fuck. And you might even talk to them from time to time, but you don't really give a fuck about them. You can go days, weeks, months without even fucking thinking about them. Doesn't fucking matter. They're just not on your fucking radar. My name is Chris Johnson. Social media, though, because social media's around and Facebook's around and Twitter and all the other shit, you're more connected to a lot of these people than you would be otherwise. Back in the day, you fucking turn the clock back 30 years, you never see these fuckers again. Maybe at a fucking occasional high school reunion or some such shit, but they don't really pop up on your fucking radar at all. You don't have to see pictures of their dumb fucking kids. Because I always think to myself, like, if I knew an asshole and I see their kids, I'm like, these guys are going to be fucking assholes. We're fucked. They're fucked. Everybody's fucked. You know what I mean? Like, we got another generation of fucking nitwit fucks. So I did a podcast, like 9 months ago now. I've been sitting on this story for 9 months. So I used to know somebody who would not listen to the podcast, but they would read the blurb on Facebook about what the podcast was about, and they would ask me about what happened in the podcast. And this happened time and time again, and I found I was like, dude, I'm not fucking telling you. Like, it takes fucking 5 minutes to listen. Just listen to the fucking podcast or don't. I don't give a shit if you don't want to fucking listen to it, but I'm not going to fucking give you a goddamn transcript. So I made a podcast about how fucking dumb I thought that was. What I've never fucking told you or revealed to you, some fucking how that asshole listened to that podcast. Or I don't know, maybe they didn't. Maybe they just read the preview. I shouldn't give them too much fucking credit. But anyway, the person found out that I made that fucking podcast. And despite the fact that I never mentioned anybody's name in the podcast, aside from my own, Chris Johnson, they didn't like it very much. They were very offended by it. I have a history of people saying really shitty things to me. It's kind of like a guy with a punchable face. Everybody walks up and wants to fucking hit him. With me, I got the type of face that's like, I'm going to tell that person to fuck off. And people do it. So I'm going to read this message here. Now, when I got this message, it was the first message I got in 2 months. It was December 7th, 2019. And then the next message was February 2nd, 2020. So this should give you an idea how much we actually communicate. It's fucking 2 months now. It's fucking 2 months. And the only reason I got this fucking message is because they were fucking infuriated that I had the audacity to mention them in the fucking podcast or, talk about their fucking story in the podcast. It says, fuck you. You are such a loser that you need to make a podcast about me. Go fuck yourself, asshole. And I read that part and I laughed. I was like, yeah. But then she continued and said, I forgave you for the shit that you did to me back at, I'm not going to mention the name of the place. It was a place that we used to work. And I'm going to comment on that real quick. Forgave me for the shit. When I worked at the fucking fast food restaurant, we just fucked around with fucking everybody. We fucking pouring inchi powder down people's backs. We're fucking with people's coffee. Not pissing it or anything like that. But we had this, my cousin and I had this I don't know what the fuck it was. But we had this powder that if you poured it in a drink, it would turn it into fucking gel. So we're fucking with people's coffee. We're throwing stink bombs in the fucking bathroom. It was fucking mayhem there. So let's not fucking pretend that you were singled out and you were abused there. We're fucking around with everybody. We're just dicking around. It's all in good fun, you fucking idiot. So kiss my fucking ass on that one. And then they said something that was very confusing. I was there for you during your fucking divorce. What? The fuck are you talking about? You were where during my fucking divorce? You knew about the fucking divorce because other people knew about the fucking divorce. Occasionally you asked me about the fucking divorce. And I'm sure a time or two, because I was so fucking desperate for anybody to fucking talk to sometimes during divorce, I'm sure I may have even gave some of my feelings about what I was going through. Didn't make you unique. I did that with a bunch of people. If people knew about it, sometimes I would talk to them about it. But this person was just like most people who said I'll fucking be there and then just fucking disappeared and stopped being there. So let's not be fucking holier than thou there too with it, you fuck. And then it's I did those things and you still want to blast me on your piece of shit podcast? And then here's the best part. No wonder you are alone and single and living with cats. Fuck you, dick. That last part, I don't give a fuck. But how do you say that to somebody? I make a podcast that says fuck you. I'm not going to fucking tell you about the podcast. If you want to make time for it and listen to it on your own, then kiss my ass. I'm not telling you. And that is met with you're fucking alone for a reason, you sack of shit. Fuck off. It's kind of a response that doesn't really match, right? It's a response that doesn't fucking match. I don't say shit like that to people. It's fucking bad karma. I don't know if I believe in karma, but if karma's a real thing, I don't want to have bad karma. You know what's funny after that too? This person blocked me on social media after that and unfollowed me on Instagram, all this shit. And then 2 days later, they refollowed me on Instagram. What are you doing? What are you having fucking buyer's remorse here? Listen, I hate him, But every now and then he posts pictures of his cats, so I still want to see how Simon and Philly are doing. Get the fuck out of here, dude. You're a fucking jerk off. It's interesting to me how people somehow in their fucking head, like, really overestimate their importance in your world. Like, we don't really have any type of relationship. We never really fucking had any type of relationship. You were just somebody that I worked with. That's it. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't even really like them that much. I thought they were kind of a jerk. But it didn't really matter because they didn't really matter. There's a line from a song that I like by Sincere Engineer where she says, rejection only hurts when it comes from something of worth. And it's fucking true. If somebody that doesn't fucking matter to you at all rejects you, what the fuck do you care? You haven't fucking lost anything. It's only when you really give a shit that it fucking matters. The rejection hurt when I was married because I really gave a shit about that person. If I reached out to somebody or when I reach out to people and I confess how I feel, depending on their response, I may be fucking hurt by that. You know what I mean? But if it's some sack of shit that's meaningless, then it's fucking meaningless. Anyway, I thought you might like that update. I'll be back Sundays and Wednesdays, so as the new podcast episodes come out. I'm on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify and iHeartRadio and Podbean, which is the host. Every episode's on Podbean. I'm going to be on Facebook, in my timeline, on Twitter, if that's your fucking bag, at Johnson Hates You, and on Instagram as well at maybe 5 minutes.